Hello and welcome to another video blog post from cmsquickstart.com, where today we're going to take a look at how to back up and restore your Drupal site. And there are many ways of doing it, and there are probably many videos out there on how to do it, but I'm going to show you the way I like to get it done. And we're going to use the demonstration module, or demonstration site module, which is over at drupal.org/project/demo. Ideally, it says sandbox and snapshot. Using it as a demo, using it as a backup module is a little off label, but I've just found it so easy and wonderful to use. So let's start with it here. We're going to use it over here at my live site, dougvan.com. That's me. You can check out my blogs there. And you'll notice over here in the module section, I've already placed the files in their proper place over at sites/all/modules. And if you look for demo, here it is, demonstration site. Creates snapshots and resets the site for demonstration or testing purposes. And also demonstration site reset. I don't turn on the second half of that module. I just turn on the first half. So that's all we really need. And as you're familiar with, I use the admin module up here to get around, navigate my admin. So looking at under site building is demonstration site. If you click on that, it takes you to the very front page of the demonstration site configurations. The dump path, very important. It says enter a writable directory where dump files of this demonstration site are stored. It gives you some examples. It says note, for security reasons, you should store site dumps outside of the document root of your web space. So the concern here is that if you leave a SQL file, a database dump of your site, sitting out there for the world to grab, they can grab it and then do horrible things with it. So in my case, I have it set up to where people cannot download files from this directory. So I'm safe. Manage snapshots is your second option. And I have one. I created a test just moments ago just so you could have something to look at. So as you go through the course of time, if you make a backup once a week or once a month, whatever you're doing, then that's what you would do. You'd see a list of them there, and you can go through and delete those whenever you want to. And a pretty cool feature here is when you select it, it'll open up and tell you all the modules that were enabled at the time that the file was created, at the time that the snapshot was created. And you can close that back up if you need to. And to the right we have create snapshot. Are you sure you want to create a snapshot? Yes, you are. Now the typical conventions apply. You can't have spaces, etc. in the file name. So we're going to call ours cmsqs_demo. So maybe the use case here is that you're making a backup of the site because you're getting ready to add a bunch of content or do a bunch of weird configurations, or you want to have a point to fall back on. Maybe you've got a big team working on some stuff here, and you're afraid things might go crazy. And then sure enough, if 2 hours later you're getting JavaScript errors or PHP errors, or your front page is just all messed up and your data's not sorting right and just everything's haywire, you can come back and fall back to this. So description is example. Little note to yourself so you know what's going on. Create this, and I have a pretty large database, so it's going to take a moment to dump all that. Now let's be clear. We're backing up the database only at this point. Just taking, and what's in your database? All your content, your titles, your configurations of your modules, all the checkboxes and drop downs that you select, all those things you do with the graphic user interface, with the GUI, all of that gets stored in the database. Not a whole lot in the file structure. So now we have two of these. And it's very simple to reset by going over here to reset. So if I find myself later tonight or tomorrow with a bunch of issues on my site, I can simply fall back to this point, which was June the 10th at 10:30 in the morning, and I'm Eastern time, so that's correct. And my database dump is 33.64 meg, and you can tell these two dumps here were just done within 6 minutes of each other, and this is the same size. So obviously my database has not grown. So fair enough. Now, this covers the database side of it. How do we back up the file structure? Well, there's a couple different ways to do that. The way that's kind of not fun at all is your old friend, the FTP. And if you've seen my videos before, you've seen me demonstrate the Fire FTP. CyberDuck's another example. There's no end to all the FTPs out there. Some people use Dreamweaver as an FTP because they're so familiar with using Dreamweaver. What I want to show you here is in the sites, default, files, demo, here are the files that we've stored. So here's the test.sql and the cmsqs demo.sql. Those SQL files are the giant 33 or so meg files that contain all of the database dumps. And the info simply has the name and other information that you've added in there, and all the modules that were activated there, that were enabled at the time of the dump. So you can take this whole thing and make a copy of it in your local machine, if you were so inclined. You could take this right here and dump it, arrow left, over to a file called backup on your local machine. If you're going to do that, do it and then go make some lunch and clean your house or play with your dog. It's going to take a long time to transfer all that to your local machine. But again, the point is you have the file structure, all your modules files, all the pictures and images and audio files, videos, whatever you have that are actually digital assets. Those transfer over, and also, as we saw, the .sql files also come over. So you've got a copy of the file structure and the database. Now, in the case of our GUI here, I can do a reset. I can pick one of these. I can pick test. It tells me all the modules. And so in this scenario, I still have access to the site. The site is not so broken that I can't get into the admin, I can't get into the demo. So if you can get into your site to restore it, to recover it, to reset it, then hit reset. And it will slowly reset the database to the exact same image that it has right now. So no harm, no foul. Now I do want to show you one more cool trick that might blow your mind. So if you're faint of heart, run away. Here's the command line. I'm at the root directory of my site, the web root, public HTML. I can do a tar VCF, call it backup example .tar of the entire site. And so tar VCF backup, give it a name .tar of everything. And by hitting this, it is now taking my entire website and creating a single file, a compressed file of everything. And the advantage there is that I get to have this single file, and I can stash it away somewhere, and I can use it when I need to. I can restore my entire site from that point, from that file. So, and again, that has all the file structure. It has a copy of the database. In this case, it has two copies of the database. It has the test.sql and the cmsqs.sql, or cmsqs demo.sql. So that's good stuff. That's good stuff indeed. And taking a look, we see that the backup example is right there. And I'm going to take that example and move it up one level, MV, to get it off my web root so nobody else can download my entire site. That would not be good. Making a copy of my site, that would not be good at all. So I've got it stashed away one level up. Or I could go over here and indicate, now that I've done that, I can go over here to my root folder, and here is the backup example.tar. So I can grab this file and bring it over. And that's pretty cool. That would give me the opportunity to have a single file of my entire site compressed for archiving purposes. So I hope that was cool for you. Who are we? We are cmsquickstart.com. And check us out. If you haven't checked out our themes, our highly themed installation profiles with pre-configured views and carousels and content types and blocks. Really, it's a turnkey method. And if you're learning Drupal, trying to learn Drupal, spend $75 to $150 on one of these highly themed profiles, and backwards engineer it. Find out what makes it tick. Why does it do that? Why does it do that? Everything's right there. We haven't hacked the core. It's the same old Drupal core. So you can A, launch your site with it, or B, you can disassemble it and figure out what makes it tick and learn a lot of cool stuff. So it's a highly functioning site you can play with. I am Doug Van. We hope you enjoyed this CMS Quick Start video blog about backing up your site. Thank you.